Breakfast news from AYOGEN online television. I am Makonjola Luatus Nesta. Here the headlines. On our local news this morning, Kogi jailbreak. Governor Bello reads riot act to assailants. Commiserate with families of fallen heroes. Buhari government launches program to reduce youth unemployment in Nigeria. On our political news this morning, I have no plans to unseat Sanwo-Olu as Lagos State government says Gbajabiamila. Yobe DPD chieftain defects to APC. On our business news, non-oil exports, federal government suffers 5.8 trillion naira revenue shortfall. On our sport news this morning, Ejuke wins CSKA Best Player Award. On our health news this morning, why some people may need COVID-19 booster vaccinations, says WHO. On our foreign news this morning, Zambia's president-elect louds Commonwealth role in peaceful election. On our entertainment news, Big Brother Naija Season 6, why Jackie B's eviction hurts me, says White's Money. Full details coming up next. Kogi jailbreak. Governor Bello reads riot act to assailants commiserate with families of fallen heroes. Following the recent attacks on the Medium Federal Correctional Center in Kaba, Kogi State, Governor Yahaya Bello has reassured of his administration's commitment to forestall a reoccurrence of crime in the state. The governor gave the assurance on Tuesday through his deputy, Chief Edward Onoja, who paid an on-the-spot tour at the affected correctional facility. During his assessment, the deputy governor noted his visit was a follow-up of an earlier assessment by some top officials who have been to the incident scene. According to him, Governor Bello had recorded many successes in the fight against insecurity in the state, stressing that strategic remedial actions are currently ongoing to smoke out the masterminds of the attack and ensure they face the wrath of the law. While conveying the governor's condolences messages to the families and colleagues of servicemen who lost their lives due to the unfortunate incident, Chief Onoja commended the quick response of the various security agencies, traditional rulers, local hunters, and community residents, leading to the rearrest and voluntary return of 112 inmates and counting. On his part, Deputy Controller General of the NCS said the service is short-staffed with inadequate equipment to repel the concurrent attacks on its facilities across the country. Chief Onoja also paid some visits to the injured security personnel at an undisclosed hospital and the Palace of the Obaro of Kaba, HRM, Oba Solomon Oladele Owoniyi, where he regretted the recurring occurrences of prison attacks in the country. He further called for more reinforcement of the armed squad of the service, or a beefed-up security restructure, adequate infrastructure, and increased collaboration between the federal and state government to tackle future threats. Buhari government launches program to reduce youth unemployment in Nigeria. The President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration on Tuesday launched the Nigerian Youth Employment Action Plan, NIYEAP 2009-2011. The government reiterated its commitment to mobilize the energies and capacities of the youth to minimize the risk to national security posed by rising unemployment. Minister of Youth and Sports Development Sunday Dare said the launch confirmed the commitment of the Buhari administration to continue to facilitate an enabling environment that will create about 3.7 million jobs annually. He stressed that youth should be regarded as a viable investment to yield positive benefits for all spheres of our socio-economic progress, rather than a group targeted for periodic empowerment interventions. It is important to state that the economic and social consequences of youth unemployment transcend the youth group. It has also resulted in missed economic opportunities for the nation. This is because youth inclusion is about skilled human capital, social and economic stability, a vibrant and healthy labor force, which will also endanger political stability and national growth and development. Dare said, the minister said since he assumed office, the ministry has concentrated efforts on moving youth development interventions from the empowerment model to a sustainable system. He added that the action plan emphasizes the 4 E's: employability, entrepreneurship development, employment creation, and equality and right. The 4 E's are further delineated into strategic lines of action under each theme, which emphasize on sectors that have high job creation potential. They include digital economy, rural economy, green economy, and renewable energy sector, manufacturing, tourism, construction, and services. On our political news this morning, I have no plans to unseat Sanwo-Olu as Lagos government Gbajabiamila. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, said he has no plans to unseat the Lagos state government. Babajide Sanwo-Olu Gbajabiamila said Sanwo-Olu is doing a good job governing Lagos State, hence there is no need to unseat him. Speaking on Channels Television on Tuesday, the Speaker said that Sanwo-Olu not be distracted from his assignment of governing Lagos State. He said the Lagos governor should be allowed to renew his mandate in the next general election. According to him, the president of Lagos State, Sanwo-Olu, is doing a good job. This governor is doing a good job under the current circumstances. Asked if he is nursing governorship ambition, he said, "No, I don't have any such plan, and I don't have an immediate plan. I have a job I am doing right now. It's a very tough job. You don't want distractions. I am working as a Speaker of the House of Representatives with a lot of responsibilities on my shoulder right now. Any other thing would be a distraction. As for Lagos State governorship, I have not even thought about it. Why? Because the president governor is doing a good job." Yobe PDP chieftain defects to APC. The People's Democratic Party (PDP) in Yobe State has again lost one of its chieftains to All Progressive Congress (APC). The new entrant is Honorable Audumai Samari Babale, former member Yobe State House of Assembly, representing Goya Ngejin constituency of Fika local government area. He was received by State Chairman Alhaji Adamu and Abdul Chilarie at the instance of the State Deputy Governor of the state, Idi Bade Kubana, Speaker Yobe State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Ahmad Lawan Marwa, Special Advisor on Political and Legislative Matters, Honorable Aji Yerima Bularafa, among other top APC chieftains. The former PDP chieftain, who defected alongside hundreds of his supporters, said he joined the ruling APC because of the leadership style of the party under Honorable Maimala Borni, Chairman, APC Caretaker and Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee. The Deputy Governor, while reacting to the development, assured the defectors of equal and fair treatment as the state governor is capable of carrying all the citizens alone, irrespective of political differences. The defectors were presented to the deputy governor by Ismaila Gadaka, former member representing Fon Fika Federal Constituency at the National Assembly. On our business news, non-oil exports, federal government suffers 5.8 trillion naira revenue shortfall. Within a 3-year period covering December 2017 to December 2020, Nigeria generated a total sum of 6.5 trillion naira from non-oil exports. Data from the National Bureau of Statistics have shown. The sum is 5.8 trillion naira lower than its 12.3 trillion $30 billion target set by the federal government under its zero oil plan. In the fourth quarter 2016, the Nigerian Promotion Council conceived the zero oil plan, a core component of the federal government economic recovery and growth plan, to increase the contribution of non-oil exports to Nigerian gross domestic product by 20%. According the ENEPC 2016 annual report, the focus of the plan is to generate at least a minimum of 40–50% of Nigerian earnings from non-oil exports. Among other things, the report disclosed that the plan was exposed to grow non-oil foreign exchange to $30 billion by 2020. The $20 billion was to be generated from 11 strategic report products such as petrochemicals, palm oil, cocoa, soya beans, bee rubbers with high financial value to replace oil. The $30 billion target, when converted to naira using the current official exchange rate of 411 per dollar, equals 12.3 trillion naira. During the period under the review, the federal government generated a total sum of 63.79 trillion naira from exports, out of which 6.5 trillion naira accrued from non exports, while 50.8 trillion naira was generated from exporting crude oil. Ejuke wins CSK Best Player Award on our sport news. Super Eagles and CSK Moscow winger Chidera Ejuke has been named the Player of the Month by his Russian club for July/August. The former Erevan player featured for 501 minutes in 7 games, with 2 goals for the Militarians, scoring 2 goals in 7 matches this season. According to the poll on the official website of the club, Ejuke got 44% of the votes. CSK are currently in the 8th position with 10 points in the Russian league. He was also named the man of the match when his club held Arsenal 2-2 in the Russian league. Last season, Ejuke scored 5 goals in 25 league appearances for the club. The former Velogram player was part of the Super Eagles side who played against Liberia and Cape Verde in the quarter 2022 qualifying games, which they won. Why some people may need COVID-19 booster vaccinations, says WHO. The World Health Organization says people that didn't respond adequately to the first 2 doses of COVID-19 vaccines may need to receive the 3rd dose. According to WHO, the 3rd dose will be necessary because the first 2 doses were unable to do what was expected in otherwise normal, healthy people. Speaking during an interview section tagged Science in 5 posted in WHO's website, WHO Director of the Department of Immunization, Vaccines and Biologicals, Dr. Catherine O'Brien, noted that other reasons why some people may need to take a 3rd dose as if the immunity wanes and if the performances of the vaccines is less or inadequate against some of the variants of concern that have emerged. The second reason why we might give a 3rd dose is if over time the immunity that you have received and achieved is as a result of being vaccinated starts to wane, it starts to deteriorate or go down over time. And in fact, the evidence right now shows that the vaccines are holding up extremely well to protect you against severe diseases, hospitalization, or even death. So we don't see strong evidence leading to a need to provide a 3rd dose for people who have already been vaccinated. The 3rd reason we might want to give a 3rd dose is if the performance of the vaccines is less or inadequate against some of the variants of concerns that have emerged. And again, the vaccines that we have right now against the variants, we're watching this very carefully, are holding up extremely well against the severe end of the disease spectrum. Generally speaking, the vaccines are performing very well, Dr. O'Brien said. The experts, however, said giving a 3rd dose needs to be monitored for safety issues. Right now, we do have some evidence that there is a small proportion of people, those people who have serious immunocompromised conditions that don't seem to respond to the first dose in the way that people don't have immunocompromised conditions do what they need is they need the 3rd dose, but that's really for their primary response. It's because they haven't adequately responded to the first 2 doses, but apart from the protection so that a booster dose affords people, there are some other considerations we need to know. On our foreign news this morning, Zambia's presidential-elect lauds Commonwealth role in peaceful election. President of the Republic of Zambia, Hakainde Hichilema, has attributed peaceful polls to roles played by the Commonwealth under the leadership of the Secretary General, Patricia Scotland. In an interview with journalists at the Commonwealth on Tuesday, he recalled how his release was secured by the Commonwealth Secretary General in 2017, as well as their efforts that stabilized Zambia. Hichilema said he was imprisoned on trumped-up charges but was released in 2017 after the intervention of the Commonwealth Secretary General. Patricia Scotland didn't give up. The Commonwealth didn't give up as they came back before the election, even though the situation didn't improve before she left in 2018. Hichilema said Zambia was confronted with numerous political and social challenges of lack of respect to the rule of law, violence, and non-respect for human rights, which the Commonwealth spent much time to address. According to him, there was no political space and no freedom for Zambians to participate in their national government through democratic instruments at that time, adding that government didn't allow registration of voters. He maintained, I'm talking about issues of violence, community political violence that needed to be dealt with. I'm talking about voter registration, voter database that need to be deemed to be fair and to continue to try to help build peace. Meanwhile, in a statement of solidarity for the inauguration of Hichilema, the Secretary General of the Commonwealth of Nations commended the roles played by Zambia's new president, Hakainde Hichilema, and his predecessor, Edgar Lungu, in the successful conduct of the country's presidential election, saying there was no loser between them but 2 winners. She offered her congratulations to the people of Zambia, the duo of Hichilema and Lungu, saying the election would go down in history as an election with no losers, but 2 winners. Zambia's miraculous 2021 election will go down in history as an election with no losers, but two winners. President Ichilema, who won the vote, and President Lungu, who won the heart of every person who loves democracy and peace by a graceful democratic transfer of leadership and extending his brotherly hand to President Ichilema. Scotland said in a statement, she said, the presidential election that brought Akanyide Ichilema to power was conducted on August 12, 2021. And on our entertainment news this morning, why Jackie B's eviction hurts me, says White Money. Still on the evolution of the Big Brother Naija Season 6, BB Naija housemate White Money has disclosed that Jackie B's eviction hurts him. Jackie B was evicted on Sunday alongside J. Paul. White Money on Tuesday said he was hurt about Jackie B's eviction because he needed some time to know her and wanted to find out more in order to pursue a better relationship with her outside the house. White Money said this during the diary section on Tuesday with Biggie. I was trying to know Jackie B better and eviction just took her away. I figured her a bit, but she becomes someone I want to understand well. So when we go out, I could chase whatever it is I have in my head and see if it will work. Just when I was trying to get close to her, she's gone, and that hurts me. But it's a game and people have to leave. I understand that. Recall that White Money had told Jackie B he had feelings for her and would love to pursue a relationship with her outside the house. However, Jackie B told a booker that she has no intention of pursuing a relationship with White Money outside the house, as she sees him as a daddy in the house. And that will be that on our new breakfast news this morning. We'll be right back. Kogi jailbreak. Governor Bello reads riot act to assailants commissarate. With families of fallen heroes, Buhari government launches program to reduce youth unemployment in Nigeria. On our political news, I have no plans to unseat Sanwo-Olu as Lagos State government, says Gbajabiamila. Yobe DPD in defect chieftain to APC. Business news, non-oil exports, federal government suffers 5.8 trillion naira revenue shortfall. On our sport news, Educate wins CSK Blessed Player Award. Health news, why some people may need COVID-19 booster vaccinations, says WHO. On our foreign news, Zambia's president-elect louds Commonwealth role in peaceful election. Why BB Naija Jackie B's eviction hurts me, says White Money. And that will be that on our breakfast news. Thanks for watching. Continue to subscribe and follow us on our YouTube channel, on our Facebook page, Instagram page. God bless you. Have a nice day.